All right, good evening and welcome everybody to the fifth session of this or fourth session of the summer for the Family Series webinar. We want to thank you again, as always, for giving us an hour of your evening. We already don't get enough time as it is after work, so thank you all for joining us this evening. Just a quick reminder about Zoom webinar formats. You will not be able to turn your camera on or your mic. Instead, you'll be able to utilize the chat feature and the Q&A box at the bottom. Today we're going to have presenters from campus activities, leadership and service, first year experience, and our mentoring programs. Each of these offices will have a quick 10-minute or so overview presentation and go over some key dates and information that's important about their offices for you and for your student to know. You'll be able to submit questions at any time during the presenters or afterwards using the Q&A feature at the bottom. They'll either be able to answer those live on camera for you, or we'll have a little Q&A session at the very end. And we're going to go ahead and kick it off. And while Gage is getting that presentation loaded, I just want to remind everybody that this webinar is going to be recorded and posted onto our website, so you'll be able to go back and view it at any time after tonight. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Gage.
All right. Hopefully you can see me and hear me. Hello, my name is Gage Pinson. I'm the coordinator for campus activities. You'll meet Maddie Bailey here in a minute, but I work alongside her to bring events and experiences to campus for all of our students to enjoy. So this is just kind of a contact info. So if there's any questions that your student might have, or even you as a parent or guardian, you can email getconnected@uttyler.edu, and we can have someone help out. And then the at UT Tyler CA is our Instagram, and that's where we kind of post everything that's going on. But we'll get started. So one of the things that campus activities oversees is our festival weeks here at UT Tyler. Um, this is kind of the overview of them. So we have Patriot Palooza, two of them. That is our welcome week. One in August, which is kind of the logo you see on the left. That is, we'll go into dates here in a minute. And then we have one in January that's kind of the snowy logo you see on the right. Um, and then in October, we have Patriot Days. That is our Student Appreciation Week. And then in the spring, we have our homecoming. It's around baseball and softball. All these festival weeks are full of traditions, high energy, opportunities for all of our students. So we highly encourage your student to come out if they're able. So to get started with Patriot Palooza, here are those exact dates that we mentioned. So the fall semester 2025 is August 22nd to September 4th. So I believe your students would start moving in if they're living on campus August 21st. So that very next day, as soon as they're on campus, we're out there wanting to meet them, get them meeting new people, all the things. And then in January, whenever they come back from Christmas break, we have the Spring Palooza. That is January 12th through the 16th. Um, but really, these weeks are just full of events and opportunities for your student to get involved on campus, as well as with other orgs and other students, and just get to meet new people and feel welcome here at UT Tyler. Some of those events that you should encourage your student to go to. I believe you should encourage your student to go to. One of the main ones is Swoopsation. That is that Friday, August August 22nd. If y'all came to campus for orientation, it is a large org fair. It's larger than the one that we had at orientation, but we have tons of student organizations out there, campus departments, even Tyler community. So it's really a great opportunity for your student to get connected with all of the Tyler things. And then during the week, we have barbecue and a band. I know it says a band, but the band is Chandler Pearson. We've had them here. This will be their third year. Always come out. They're like some country, red dirt, super fun, just kind of hanging out, you know. And then the first Friday is First Friday of the semester. We try have this event to encourage students to stay on campus and kind of get have that welcoming feeling. So we shut down the UC from about 10 p.m. to midnight, or we don't shut it down, we take it over. And then we have plenty of activities such as an escape room, line dancing, we have a soda bar, tons of fun things. And then kind of extending into the next week, it's how our schedule lined up, but we do have our first official tailgate that we will be partnering with athletics on. I believe it's for m women's soccer and volleyball. So we have some minute to win it games, opportunities for students to come out, participate in that, and then possibly win some prizes during the game. So all about school spirit, just come out and show out. So the next festival week that we would have is Patriot Days. Um, it has been later in October in the past, but this year we are partnering with athletics to get into to meet them with Fall Fest. We'll kind of get into details in a minute, but it's the end of September. It's right after Family Weekend. Family Weekend's, if I can do my math real quick, I think it's the weekend of the 27th, September 27th. So right after Family Weekend, we're rocking and rolling with another festival week. This one is our Student Appreciation Week, so a lot of our events are catered towards our students. These can be just typical events, lots of tailgates and athletic events. But one of the main traditions that we do here at UT Tyler is the Student Government Association hosts midnight breakfast. Similar to First Friday, we open up the University Center starting at 10 and go to midnight. And we have Sodexo, which is our food company. They serve breakfast to our students. We have orgs set up to talk about their involvement, all the things. So that's on the Wednesday of Patriot Days on October 1st. And then Friday, we would like to extend the welcome to our community. But we have Randy Rogers Band playing at the Cowan. So the Division of Student Success will kind of be doing a pre-show tailgate celebration, and then we'll all go into the Cowan and enjoy some good music. And then the next day, we will have athletics is hosting Fall Fest, and campus activities is partnering with them, and we're hosting our annual chili cook-off during that. So, in I don't know if you can see my cursor, but there's a picture of the chili cook-off trophy. It is quite large. So tons of fun competition. We have student orgs come out to compete as well as some campus departments, but um, all the good vibes. So what would be next was the January Patriot Palooza Welcome Week, but it's very similar to welcoming our students back to campus, such as the fall one. So the next change of a festival week would be homecoming. Um, like I said earlier, we center it around baseball and softball here at UT Tyler. So it is in the spring. This is the first year that we've had these dates picked out so early. So I can give you a save the date, which is March 23rd through the 29th of 2026. So be sure to mark your calendars. We love to invite our alumni as well as our alumni's families and current student families onto campus as we host some traditions such as our crawfish boil and fireworks show. But tons of traditions, lots of school spirit. So be sure to mark your calendar for that. And we hope to see you there. one of the anticipated events that we have going on is our concert that would be that Friday, so March 27th. We don't know who, but it is in the plans. It will be big, super fun. And then following the concert, we will have our annual fireworks show in addition with drones. You can kind of see in one of these pictures down here, but this past year we brought a surprise drone show to campus. It was beautiful, super stunning. So be sure to come out and see that after that concert. And then the next day we will have our crawfish boil. I don't know if it will be centered around baseball or softball. I think it'll be baseball. Um, but crawfish is free. We just hang out and cheer on our athletes. So be sure to come out and see us during that. Uh, and then we'll also have tailgating going on during then. But aside from festival weeks, we do also have some involvement directly with the students. One of my favorite things is I get to be the advisor for Patriot Programs. That is our campus activities board. They're also called P2, hence the big P2 on the screen. But they are a student organization that is student led. And so I work really closely with them as their advisor, and they are really the voice of what kind of events and programs we want on campus. We value their input and their feedback, so it's a great opportunity for students to get engaged with our events and those processes to have them on campus. Uh, really all students, sorry, I'm rambling, but I recommend it to all students because it is a great way and to get engaged on campus and involved. Um, Oftentimes they start in P2 and then it'll lead to other opportunities. And the great thing about it is all students have the opportunity to become a member. It's free. There's no fees or restrictions or anything. So if your student is interested in getting involved, they easily can through Patriots Engage. Um, Down below, there's their Instagram handle if you'd like to tell your student about it, or um, if you even want to follow and just kind of screenshot and send it to your students. But And then one thing that campus activities is getting more involved with is another student org called Patriot Pack. Kind of ironic with the P2s, but Patriot Pack is a student org as well. They are committed to supporting our athletics. Um, and the game day experience. That is something that we're trying to build up currently is how to engage with students as well as community and who else might be in the crowd during our game days or games and everything. That can involve tailgates, actual in-game experiences, um, marketing beforehand. We have a spirit cart that runs around campus on some game days where we hand out swag and promote the upcoming games. So, Patriot Pack is a great way for students to get involved with that aspect of the campus life. Um, Similar to Patriot programs, all students have the opportunity to join for free. There's no restrictions, fees, any of that. It's really just a good opportunity for students to show off their school spirit as we support our athletes. And similar below, that is their Instagram. They go out to all the games that they can, depending on their schedule, but it is a growing org. So if your student is interested, highly recommend joining. Um, that's kind of my topics for today or tonight. But if you want to scan this QR code, that takes you to our link tree. That is where we keep it updated often with what's going on with campus. If you scan it now, you can kind of see there's like some Patriot Palooza stuff posted on there, but it's also a link to our socials and our website. So yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I don't see any questions right now, but if any questions pop up later on, Gage is more than happy to answer them as they come in or later at the end. So now we'll go ahead and pass it over to Maddie to talk a little bit about leadership and service here at UT Tyler.
All right, so my name is Maddie Bailey. I am the Assistant Director of Campus Activities. So all of the wonderful things that Gage just shared with you, I oversee some of those parts. And then I also oversee leadership and service events and programs on campus. So the first and number one thing is just getting involved is the best way to develop as a leader. So a lot of being a leader just involves knowing yourself and getting involved on UT Tyler's campus. So we have orientation leaders, student org leaders, even just being a member of a student org is a leadership opportunity, and then growing into that e-board role. So getting involved is the easiest way, and the easiest quote unquote program that we can give you at UT Tyler for your student to grow in their leadership skills. But if they are wanting something specific towards leadership, I will go over some of the events and student organizations that we offer. So first is our Texas Leadership Scholars. So unfortunately, those have been chosen for the year. So they apply in high school. But if you have students who are applying to a Texas institution that participates in TLS next year, they can apply for that TLS scholarship. So it's a group of, we have about 10 students per cohort, and they get a 100% cost of attendance scholarship through the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. And then they participate in different events across campus and across the state for leadership development. National Society of Leadership and Success is a program that is open to all students with a 2.5 GPA or above. So we send out invitations every fall and spring for students to join. You do have to pay to join, but then you get access to some wonderful resources. So the DISC assessment, if you are familiar with that, sorry, and that's my dog. If you are familiar with that, you get access to the DISC assessment, which is a wonderful tool for, it's similar to kind of like a Clifton Strengths assessment or personality assessment. So you get access to that. You get access to leadership opportunities in the and now my dog is drinking water. So sorry, she was so quiet during all of Gage's presentation. But you get access to a bunch of great things whenever you join the NSLS portal. And then you also get to connect with other students that are on the UT Tyler's campus. So this was a picture from induction last year. So we had a really great group that was inducted in our Mabry Theater. And our president is there. And there's also some opportunities to join our executive board, which is a great leadership opportunity. We also have our Patriot Pantry, which is our on-campus food pantry. And so it is located outside the library. It looks like this. There's an orange door. It is open to all students and staff, and actually community as well, even though we serve, I would say, almost 100% students. But there are no requirements to use it. So if your student forgets a snack for the day and they want to run by and get a Pop-Tart, they're welcome to do that. If they need something more substantial, they can come by. Our hours do change every semester because they're based off of our student workers' hours and like his class schedule. So always check the website. You can also email patriotpantry@uttyler.edu and get more information on making an appointment or when your student can visit. If you are interested in donating items to the Patriot Pantry, there's information about that on our website, about things that we accept and don't accept. We typically don't store any type of like cold food or food that can, perishable foods. But our pantry is growing. So last year we saw a 30% increase in usage, and we served over 1,300 visitors. And I have seen other on-campus pantries. I am biased, but ours is one of the best because it actually used to be the old Starbucks many years ago. So it is fully set up to be conducive to a lot of people and visitors. We have a sink. If students want to make ramen noodles or an Easy Mac pack on their way to campus, they can. So it is right next to the new Starbucks that just opened in the library if you're walking in towards the pharmacy building. We also offer different service projects. So some of these are unique per student organizations. They sometimes do different ones with nonprofits around Tyler. But we have Arbor Day, which is in the fall. So this year it is in October. We are a one-to-one campus when it comes to trees. So for every tree that we have to cut down because of maybe construction, we plant a tree. And so we have special distinguished awards and things like that for our trees. So we take it very seriously. The National Arbor Day is actually in the spring, but because of East Texas climate, we have to move it to the fall. And that is open to families too. So if you want to come with your students to plant some trees, you're welcome to do that. East Texas Big Event is in the spring. So that's what this picture is from. It is a collaboration with TJC where we meet at a central location. So we met at Bergfeld Park this year, and then we spread out to different nonprofits throughout the city and completed projects for them. So it's a great way for our students to be visible around Tyler and also to know what some of those nonprofits offer. Sometimes students like to stay in their little TJC or UT Tyler bubble, and they may not even know what Tyler has to offer in different ways that they can get involved. So highly recommend East Texas Big Event. It will be in March this year. As those dates get finalized, those will be public on our website. So you can always just Google East Texas Big Event, UT Tyler, and it will come up. Swoop Camp. So if your student participated in Swoop Camp, we had different service opportunities around Tyler. We took them on buses to different nonprofits, and some of them went to the food bank or Hand Up Network, did construction. I think we like fully renovated a house that is used in one of the nonprofit organizations in Tyler. So great opportunity. And then I'm going to show you in a second, but we have a platform called Give Pulse that syncs with another platform called Patriots Engage. And so if your student is ever needing service hours or just wants service hours, wants to volunteer, they can always check those websites, and then, or they can always just reach out to me via that email on the screen. So leadserve@uttyler.edu. So all of your students, if you have not already heard about it, have access to a platform called Patriots Engage. So it's uttyler.edu/engage. They already have a login. So it's a single sign-on. It's just the same login that they would use to get into their email. But there is a tab on the left that says service. And so this syncs with a platform that all of our nonprofits are registered on. So for example, the Salvation Army, this one's a little bit old, obviously, but the Salvation Army was looking for volunteers to ring the bell for their Christmas Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign. And so if students are like, I want to go volunteer this weekend, what can I do? They can always go to that tab on Patriots Engage and find different ways to get involved. And this is a free service that we offer to nonprofits. And so we house all of that for them so that they can easily find volunteers and get involved with our campus. For tracking service hours, this is not necessarily applying to you guys specifically, but just so you can put a bug in your student's ear, they also track service hours on Patriots Engage. And then that is a great opportunity because it adds it to their co-curricular transcript. So they have a normal transcript with all of their grades on it. Amazing. We love that. But then they also have a co-curricular transcript on Patriots Engage. So they just log in, go to their profile, and it will show the number of service hours that they have, the events that they've gone to, if they've gone to any workshops, the organization that they have served on. And so it's a great opportunity for students to really track all of their experiences that they've had outside of the classroom while they're on campus. This is my contact information. So if you have any questions, if it's something related to one of those items specifically, you're welcome to email the emails that were listed on the screen. Or if you just want to introduce yourself or ask a question, you're welcome to email me directly. You can also share this with your students. A lot of them volunteered in high school or were involved in organizations in high school. So you're welcome to send them a screenshot of that and say, hey, go get involved, go volunteer, email Maddie, stop by. And we're excited to have them on campus.
Thank y'all for that. So there's no questions in the Q&A box right now, but again, if y'all have questions for Maddie about any of the leadership or service opportunities that she talked about, feel free to drop them in there, or as she said, you can just shoot her an email or have your student email her. But to wrap up the evening with first year experience and mentor programs, I will pass it over to Sam.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sam Cockrell. I'm the Director of New Student and Family Programs here at UT Tyler, and I'm excited to chat with y'all about the opportunities available to your student through first year experience programming and through mentoring. So the first year's experience is exactly what it sounds like. It is programming that takes place during your student's entire first year here at UT Tyler. We offer opportunities to get involved for both our freshman students as well as our transfer students. So it's really just the first year that they are here studying at UT Tyler. Our goal really is to introduce them to what it means to be a UT Tyler Patriot, to help them learn about resources that are available on campus to help them integrate into being a part of our campus community. And so we do this through offering free, regularly scheduled events all throughout the fall and spring semester. We do this every year. Sometimes these events are strictly fun and social, an opportunity for them to get to meet their peers and just have a good time. Always, though, no matter what we're doing, even if the students don't recognize it, there's always a learning outcome and a purpose to it. And so we'll talk a little bit about what some of those events look like and how we're able to incorporate some learning outcomes into what we do. If you'd like, you can take a picture of this slide here and pass that along to your student to make sure that they add these to their calendar, their planner, whatever the case may be for how they choose to organize their time. These are our, as of right now, events for the fall semester, but we do have more that will be coming soon. We are in the process of hiring a student assistant whose role is to help us figure out what is it that students want to do, what things are fun and exciting to them, because sometimes the things that I find fun and exciting aren't the same things that our students would say are fun and exciting. So for the time being, we have these events that are already set and scheduled to take place, and it all starts before the semester even begins. So on August 22nd, which is the Friday before classes start, before students go to new student convocation, we are hosting a class of 2029 photo. Everyone who is part of the incoming class of 2029 will be invited to come and take a photo. That way they have a keepsake memory to recognize their first semester and their first year here at UT Tyler. And then 2 days later, on Sunday, we will be hosting Walk Your Schedule, which is a great opportunity for new students and sometimes returning students to figure out where their classes are. So students are encouraged to print out a copy of their schedule or pull it up on their phone so that before the first day of class, they know where they're supposed to go, perhaps figure out the closest place to park and where the best routes are to get from point A to point B. But what makes it even better is that we have student volunteers available to help guide your student on that day. So they show up, they bring their class schedule with them, and our student volunteers will take them from building to building. They'll give them some tips and tricks on how to make their time at UT Tyler go as smoothly as possible as they adjust to a new campus. And then they already know exactly where they need to go their first day of class. After that, we'll start September with a DIY planner event. This is a great opportunity for those students who are really creative and like to have a tangible physical planner. We provide all of the supplies. Students just need to show up with a syllabus for each of their classes so they can start adding in exams, when projects are due, other important dates. We'll host several virtual Tuesday trivia events, which is a great way for students who might not be on campus at the exact time that an event is taking place. They can tune in from their phone and participate in cool trivia and win exciting prizes. We'll host a DIY Halloween candy bouquet right before Halloween. So this is a great opportunity for students to put together a bouquet, if you get what we're saying, made of different candies that they can keep for themselves, or maybe they want to gift to someone special. And then we'll end our last in-person event for the semester in November with a DIY tacky sweater. So students only need to bring their great ideas and whatever creativity they have. We provide sweaters, all of the paint, accessories, bells, tacky, iron-on patches, whatever they can envision, we will probably have available for them to decorate a tacky sweater. This is also a great time for them to decompress just a little bit before finals start to pick up and they get a little bit stressed out from that. Here are some cool photos from previous events that we did last year. This one is actually from our DIY Valentine's candy bouquet. So as you can see, we set up in the University Center for most of our events. That's the central location that most students will always be in because that's where the food's located. And we provide all of the supplies. So all they need to do is show up, give us a little bit of their time. They check in with us so that we can track their attendance. Like Maddie was talking about, it can go on their co-curricular transcript. And they get to enjoy having a good time with their peers and make something cool to walk away with. Here are some photos from our DIY planner event. Again, students just show up. We've got the actual planners, we've got stickers, we've got highlighted pieces of paper that they can use. Any creativity that they've got, we want them to bring so that when they sit down to sort out their planner and get everything set up, it's going to be something that they will actually use moving forward. And then one of our most popular events, the DIY tacky sweater. Students love this. There's never a shortage of funny and witty ideas that they come up with. There are some students who, as you can see, used a sweatshirt that we provide. We also started purchasing beanie hats for students who maybe don't want to get a sweatshirt but would rather have a hat. And you can tell by some of the decorations here, they do look pretty tacky, but they always come out looking really great, and it's something that the student has created for themselves. Now we transition into another part of what I'm responsible for, which are mentoring programs. So we have these great opportunities for students to get connected on campus, have some fun, mix and mingle with their peers, but we know sometimes they need a little bit more support than that. And so that's where mentoring programs come in. The goal of our mentoring program is to pair new freshmen and transfer students with a peer mentor that can help them overcome some of the challenges that we already know they are going to experience their whole first year here at UT Tyler. So how we do this, new students opt into this mentoring program. It is completely optional. If they tell us they're interested, we pair them with a peer mentor, an upper class student who has performed well academically, is involved on campus, and can teach them some tips and tricks on how to make that transition to UT Tyler as smooth as possible. What's nice about this is they can choose to communicate however it works best for them. We know some students want to get together in person and meet with their peer mentor as often as possible, and others just kind of want to do a weekly check-in, either a text message or an email. There's really no limitations on how the peer mentor and their students can communicate with each other, so long as both groups agree with how they're communicating. We also host fun mentoring events, but we give each of our peer mentors a budget to work with, and they can use those funds to help plan events. Some can be very structured, like a study group. They say, hey, everyone, we're going to get together on this day at this time. Come on by and let's work on some of these midterm projects that we all have coming up. Other times it's just more social. They say, hey, let's go eat lunch in the Met together. I'll buy lunch for anyone who wants to come and grab lunch with us on Thursday, for example. In addition to those events, mentors also provide regular check-ins, following a calendar that we know hits most of those important touch points to get timely updates to students. So we know during the beginning of the semester, they're super excited to be here. It's new, it's fun, and it's exciting. Sometimes a little bit of homesickness might start to stick in. Then they kind of realize, okay, college is a little different than high school. I've got to be focusing on academics. How can I make sure I take advantage of the resources here? And then, of course, things like just being well and healthy all throughout the year are important. So we drop those in throughout the year to make sure that students are getting the support they need to be their best self. Here's a photo from one of the more fun mentoring events that we got to do last year. You can tell it was a beautiful day outside, and we hosted a doormat decorating event. So again, we provided the doormats, the paint, the stencils. Students got to come by and create whatever kind of doormat they wanted. This particular theme was fall and Halloween, and so we saw a lot of spooky doormats that students had created. And everyone got to take theirs home with them. So it was nice to see students have them outside of their apartments on campus or their room at their residence hall. We even had some faculty and staff who came out too because, again, it was just such a perfect day. Everyone wanted to be outside and participate. So as you can see, there's some structured things that we do as far as these events go. And then the peer mentors also have some flexibility to kind of drop things in and meet the needs of their students wherever they are. I know I've thrown a lot at y'all, but I wanted to put my contact information up here for any questions that you might have after we finish today's session. You can always reach out via email. My email address is listed on there. And I've also put my office location in case you're on campus and want to come by and chat in person with me. But that's all I've got.
Awesome. Okay, so now if y'all have any questions specifically for our presenters that you want them to answer, now would be the time to drop them in the chat. But if you don't have any specific questions that you want asked, you have all of their email addresses. You can email them later, or if you email parents@utyler.edu, we'll make sure to get any of those questions answered. So if you don't have any questions, you're free to log off and enjoy the rest of your evening. But if you do, you can drop them in the chat now. So we'll give it a couple minutes to wrap it up.